The First Amendment values the free interplay of ideas and cherishes the role of argument and deliberation in a self-governing people. As we will see a little later in this course, argument is most valuable to the community and most persuasive to a listener when it follows a series of civility norms and rules of good practice. But also, argument is constitutive. The way we argue shapes the way we think about ourselves, about ideas, and our ethical and political relationship to our audience. If we think of others as rivals or enemies to be silenced, it should be pretty clear how we think about our audience. Now, if I disagree with you about a political issue, should I discredit your legitimacy as a speaker, your very right to speak? Should I try to alter the rules so you can't speak? Of course not. Those gestures are toxic to the free exchange of ideas and a shared respect for the deliberative process. But say I disagree with you. I'll just talk to the people who agree with me. Is there any deliberative value, deliberative practice there? Are we learning through argument if we only speak to those with whom we agree? Probably not. The content of this course, like the political environment we inhabit, is often controversial and upsetting. Unfortunately, sometimes one student may be burdened more substantially than another by specific kinds of expression. Think of a classmate whose family may have been the victim of racist hate speech, for instance. That student then reads white supremacist speech online. Or imagine a classmate whose sibling was killed in Iraq, having to confront the Westboro Baptist Church's desire to picket military funerals. We experience speech burdens asymmetrically, just as we do in public discourse. But just as we have a series of norms and rules for understanding speech in the public sphere, so too we have a series of norms and rules in this class. Here are some of our ground rules for this course. As the instructor, my goal is to foster and moderate robust, uninhibited discussion of our class materials. I will argue with you. I will ask you to develop your points. I will push you. I will ask you to provide more evidence to respond to my counterarguments, and especially to the counterarguments of your classmates. As my colleague John Duffy suggests, argument presupposes an ethical relationship with your audience. The relationship rests upon seeing your classmates as worthy of respect, even as they differ with you. An argument is not a person, although an argument may contain elements that are deeply felt and personal. There are some things to avoid, however. Ad hominem attacks, the equivalent of calling names, are not okay.
Imbecile.
Moron.
Cretin.
You're a collaborator with evil.
Oblique name calling is no good either.
Anyone who thinks that is a complete asshat.
That's a contemptible argument. Any loyal Catholic would oppose that policy.
Don't rely on conviction-based intransigence. Don't refuse to listen.
Well, I believe what I believe. Ain't nothing you can say to change that.
You're wrong. I just disagree.
Do use evidence, especially evidence shared in common, such as a text, a case, or a film.
As we see at the end of the circle, the challenges to individual property rights are growing. For instance, when May makes the decision to
do respect the equal legitimacy of all speakers in our forum. Do respect the legitimacy of the rules that apply to everyone equally. Do respect the rights of others to try and persuade you, however deeply you may believe the contrary. Do make sure that everyone has the opportunity to speak as they wish. Do take intellectual risks. Do imagine alternatives. Do anticipate counter-arguments, and always use a civil tone.